viewers. All right, so welcome to today's call. Excellent. We have new people jumping on the call. Let's see how many others going to call. Um, my laptop's been stuffed up. Haven't been able to do most of my work from last, couple of days. See, you know that how much you rely on a technology when they don't work. So I have to use and find this old window laptop from somewhere in the garage to use it. So we're gonna get that started. So welcome. We got Amit here. He started today, so welcome, Amit. We'll just give a couple of other minutes for people to join as well. We got Sandy. Hey, Sandy. Um, Maria is on the call.
Hi,
Excellent.
Jad. Sorry, I think my video, I have some problem with the video, but the audio is perfectly fine. Can you hear me?
Excellent. Yeah, we can hear you fine. Awesome. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right. So what I want to go through today is, I don't know how many other people are going to jump on the call. But main thing I want to go back and recap, because some of you guys are at that space where you now started to do stuff, started to get clients and started to work on very specifically into the niche markets. So I want to get into some of the stuff which you guys probably did it, but some of you guys might have missed it as well. So let's go back and recap some of the things which we talked about earlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. If I could do that here, let me share my screen. All right. Alrighty, that's good. Can you guys see my screen? Yeah, just type in the message on a chat and see my screen.
Yep.
Cool, excellent, that's good. I don't have a dual screen today. My laptop's been stuffed up. Awesome. So let's go back and have a very quickly, mind dump what we talked about a few times earlier. We got Ganesh coming in. So let's talk about the mind dump, right? What we talked about a few times. And I know that you guys are going to go back and speak to some of the people right now. And before you start speaking to people, let's have that discussion again, see how you need to model your business and how you need to start doing it. I've actually uploaded lots of documentation in the file section within the Facebook group. So I didn't have a chance to explain those docos. I know some of you guys already started using them. Some of you guys don't know what to do with those docos. So let's walk through all of them today. What are the intentions behind what do you need to do to use those docos as well, right? So the first thing is very quickly the recap of everything, what we talked about earlier. So when I said the difference between the entrepreneurial mind and also different between the employee mind is most of the people look at the skill set and they are skilled at certain things. What they're trying to do is they're going out and trying to sell that skill set to people and trying to put the skill set on them and saying, now I have done something. Now I've done this diploma, master's, graduate, whatever we did it. We go out and try to sell that skill. So most of the people live in this space called skill set. So what I'm trying to do is get people out of this. If you are in this space, come out of this skill set mindset that you need to be skilled, that you need to be tester, you need to be a programmer, you need to learn blockchain, you need to learn new technology, you need to learn website development, you need to have certain skills. So we're going to talk about it. You will need certain skills, but doesn't mean that you start from a skill set perspective. So one of the things which you always talk about, start from a market side, what market wants. So today's we're going to go through exactly how to find out what market wants. So let's dig into that space that, yes, I know that what market wants. Some of us already, been part of the market. Some of you guys already been speaking to a lot of people, but some of you guys have a lot of assumptions. You think that I know what market want because I come from that market. Some of you guys think that you're going to be serving people where you were a few years ago. You're trying to serve those guys or serve those clients where you were 5-6 years ago. So you'll be working from that perspective. So we need to actually exactly know now what changed, what people are looking for. So we need to go out and speak to people and do those interviews with people. So we have all the documentation available. I want you to exactly do precisely based on this documentation. So you change stuff once you tried this. right? Remember what I said earlier? If you remember, I'm true believer of success recipes. So what I'm giving you today or anytime, they've been tried and tested. So some of them, I've tried them a lot of times, and a lot of other people globally tried it and they work. So don't try to mix and match. Don't try to add stuff into it before you applied it as is. So I would like you to guys go and apply it as is and come back with the feedback. Come back with something saying, Jag, it doesn't work, it works. So remember what we said? We want to become a scientist. We want to become a scientist in everything what we do, not just an artist, because scientists try and try and try, and they see where things need to be changed, and they change based on what need to happen at the time. So you try your formula, you try something. If works, that's good. If it doesn't work, you do a bit of tweak and get to the next level, right? Try it again, try it again. Artists, on the other hand, wait for things to be perfect before they try something. So I want you guys to be scientists in this space. Marketing, all that sort of stuff we're going to talk about have to be exactly as scientists, right? So these are the recipes, and you need to try it as is. Don't try to change it in that perspective, right? So work on what market wants, and work towards the market. So what's going to happen is, a reason I put a service here, because we all are collectively in a service-based business. So none of us are selling any product here. So that's why I put a service. So if you have any product here, add service and product. So let's look at the second slide, what we got, right? In the second slide, what we have is, we're going to talk about your perfect niche. We're going to talk about your perfect target market today. And I'm going to give you the documentation to find out exactly what's it look like. And we're going to create an offer by finding out exactly what their pains and problems are. And your offer, whatever your offer is going to be, is solving their pains and problems or taking them to the desired results. Remember two things only. People either getting away from the pain or they're going towards the desire. They're not standing anywhere. So the people who are moving, when people buy something, when people shop something, right? The reason we have all the shopping centers filled with people, the reason people buy stuff, buy suits, buy jackets, girls do nails, hair, all that, because they have a desired outcome. They want to look like something. They have an image in their mind that when they wear that, when they do their hair, when they do their, buy the shoes, they look like something. They want to get to the desired outcome, right? So everybody wants to get to the desired outcome, but some people wants to get away from the pain as well. Pain from not being able to make enough money, pain from driving a crappy car, pain from having a bad relationship, pain from anything, right? They want to get away from pain. Some people trying to get away from the pain, some people trying to get towards the desired result, right? So everybody is doing this. So all human beings, if we are humans, we getting away from the pain, going towards the desire. The only thing you need to do is find their pains and desires so you can offer it or create an offer based on that, right? Hope that makes sense, right? So let's look at it very quickly, and then I'll show you the document to support that. So firstly, before we get to the next level, does it actually make sense? Does anybody have any question about this? Raise your hand or, put it on chat. If not, I'll move on to the other one. All right, cool. So let's talk about the next one, right? So I really want to get into the market. So remember, cool, that's good, Sandy. As I said earlier, right, we need to understand our market. So I remember Henry Ford said long time ago in one of his books as well, if I had asked my, target marketing very specifically in that way, that they would have asked me or would have said to me that they need 5-horse buggies or leather buggies or something. They wouldn't have never said cars. So you as a scientist need to understand your market better than they understand themselves. So you need to understand their pains and problems way more than that. So, but also I always talk about one thing is, right, you need to understand where everybody's going. So nobody's a static. Nobody's standing still. So one of the problems I see is people always talk about, I serve accountants, or I serve IT people, or I serve certain type of people, right? But the problem with that is, if you serve one type of people, accountants, doctors, IT guys, girls at age of or who are married, you're very static. The fun begins, or the business gets created, is when you know where the accountants are going, when you know that if somebody's married and you want to serve them at certain level, you need to understand where they're going, where they want to get to. So nobody's standing still, everybody's going towards somewhere. So once you find where they're going towards, then it makes fun. Then you can actually put together, and then you know that you can create an offer, you can create a product based on that, because you know that where they're going, right? So it's really, so what you need to do is your market niche. Who do you want to serve first? So this is a step one. So if somebody asks me, okay, I'm a very new to the business world, I'm working for somebody else, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to start, like, because there's so many 50 things out there, I'm really confused. So this would be my step one. If I lose everything tomorrow and I have to start everything from day one, I'll actually look at this slide from my slide as a beginner slide. I'll say, who do I want to serve? Who is my perfect client? Who would be my perfect client? So what I did is, I actually, let me have a look if you guys can see it. Let me take you guys this one into this. Can you guys see my screen now? My ideal client document, right? So this is the number one thing, right? So this is the number one space you need to start filling in. So when I say my ideal client, what is what type of person I don't want to work with, right? What I really don't want to work with. What are the traits? What are the things? What are the characters you really don't like in people, and you don't want to work with them? How would you describe them as a friend? So this is something you don't want to work with. At the bottom, what type of person do I choose to work with? What they look like? What do you want to serve? Like, what happens is, and you'll see that you're going to choose the people you have most understanding, right? So if you come from a technology background, you're going to choose some type of technology kind of people. If you are married with kids and you know their problems, you're going to choose somebody like that, because that's what we're familiar with, right? So it's not a good and bad thing. It's just, I'm saying, remember the pattern. If you're trying to pick something, you're most likely going to pick something where you come from. You're going to look at your past and you say, okay, I think I can serve these type of people better. But then started to fill this document. These are all available under this group on our Facebook page, on our Facebook group, under the files. So start looking at that and start filling these documents, because these are the documents. If you already done something like that, I would highly recommend go back and fill it again, because that's going to give you really good information. Once you really drill it down to that level, then you know that you're not going to waste time and you're going to go towards it. So what type of person do I really want to work with? So fill it in here, right? Fill it in all that. What their person gender, what their specific age, what their race look like, what do they want to work, what their income, what is their work industry, what is their approximate person's income look like, what is their household. So these are very generic questions, I put it. Fill in as much as you can, right? Because what's going to happen is that's going to give you a lot of information about the people who you want to serve, right? Because, like, personally, look at me, right? So I'll give you my example. I want to serve people who already have some sort of expertise. I want to serve people, they have a skill. Certain skill is already in place. I don't want to serve people who have no skill. Some people think that they don't have a skill, even though they've worked in an industry for 15, 20 years. And I've seen it again and again, people working for somebody else and they think that they don't have any skills. Usually it's like that. People, I don't have any skills. I said, do you work? Yes, I do work. What do you do? I'm an accountant. So you still don't have any skill? You've been getting paid being an accountant for that long, you don't have a skill. So people don't realize it, that certain things they have it. Like if you've been a security architect for that long and you feel that you don't have a skill, go out and find it. So you'll be amazed. Not everybody can do what you can do, right? So trying to understand, not everybody knows your domain as good as you know that, right? Even though you, like, I don't know, you work as in a office admin somewhere, that is a very specific skill. If you work as an office admin, you do certain things in that space, and not everybody know that what you do there. So in this space, just fill out as much as you can, understand it there. What are their top 3 favorite books? What are their top 3 favorite movies? What magazine do they subscribe? It's a bit of work, but do it. Believe me, it'll pay off, because once you understand who you're trying to serve, who's your client is, then what's going to happen is that's going to be the next or second steps going to come in place, right? The first step is, who do you want to serve? That's the first step. Who do you actually like to serve? If you, like, say, for example, you don't like old people, just an example, right? You don't like old people. You just like young people. You want to work with young people. So you might say, look, I don't like to work with old people. Any reason. So the first thing at the top, you're going to fill it in saying what type of person you don't want to work with. There'll be certain age, above 50 or 60 or 70. I don't want to work with that type of people. Or you might not want to work with certain gender. You say, I don't want to work with male from this background. So keep in mind that that's your business. I'm not trying to be sexist. I'm not trying to be racist in any space and format. What I'm saying is, it's your business. You choose. You decide. Because you can't live on other people's patterns and values and beliefs. If somebody believes that, that's their belief. It's not your belief that you want to work. So if you don't want to work with certain country type of people, that's your business. You decide it, right? It's all up to you. You decide who you want to serve, right? Not anybody else. So once you've done this bit, let's go back to the slide again. So the first is, you need to start finding it your market niche. Exactly. And then the second thing is, we look at it here. The second question comes is, interview your target market questionnaire. So these are the questionnaires. Once you identify, your ideal client, certain people like that, 3, 4, 5 people globally who are like that. If you know certain people like that, then this is going to be really good, because then you can go out and interview people. So what's going to happen is, you already know that you want to serve doctors now, right? So you know that doctors who work as GP, I want to serve those people who work as a GP. Then you can actually go back and say, call anybody who you know, say, look, I'm trying to find something. I'm doing a market research. Would that be okay if I do a 15, 20-minute interview with you, right? That's a standard pattern. You can ask people, can I do an interview with you? And then you go back and ask them very specific question. Ask them 10 questions like this. Out of these lists, pick any 10, right? I would pick, what are your biggest concern? What worries you? What would what would be your dream life? So what you're trying to do is, going back to the same thing again. If you guys can see my screen, okay. So going back to the same thing again, what are you guys trying to do is, you're trying to go back and find their pains and desires. So you are in this purple space in this end. Now you identified your market niche. You have identified it. You said, okay, these are the market niche. This is the client. These are the type of people I want to work with. Now the next step is, I need to find their pains and desires. Nothing. Don't leave anything based on your assumptions, even though you come from the same market. So don't leave anything based on your assumption, because believe me and trust me, like many people like me, assumption's going to be wrong. So you don't want to work on something for 6 months and then realize, oh, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that, because my product does not actually fulfill the requirement of people out there. So it's better to ask them and tell them exactly what they're looking for. Ask them what they're looking for so you can actually go back and serve them.
Hey guys.
Hey, Simon. So I think that's the main thing. Go back and ask them in a way so that you can actually serve them. So once you actually go back and serve them, so what's going to happen is you actually providing a solution to them exactly what they're looking for. So there won't be any assumption in that space at all. So you're doing something, you're providing something based on what they're looking for. This is one of the biggest thing, one of the biggest discovery I can say. Most people start from this new thing called skill. They're trying to develop their skill. They think, I just need to be something. I need to be a programmer. I need to do something. But the entrepreneurs or the biggest people, like whether it's Elon Musk, whether it's the Steve Jobs, whoever you want to name it, they don't start from their skill set. Their skill set probably be zero, right? They haven't even been to school. That's probably the reason a lot of people who haven't been to the school, they are the better entrepreneurs because they don't care what skill they have or what skill they don't have. The only thing they're concerned about, the only thing they're looking forward to is just what market is looking for. So give market what they're looking for rather than you trying to do something for yourself, right? So this is the question you need to fill it in. So once you've done the client, my ideal client, then do the second step is you need to do the questionnaire about the client interview, the target market. So you go out, find some people who are exactly fitting that my ideal client criteria. So whatever criteria you're going to fill it in, that's the number one, step number one. Fill that in. The number two step is go out and interview those people. Go and speak to those people. Ask them 10 questions. Come up with the answers. Write it down, saying what they're saying. See what their pains and desires are, what they're looking for. Your end outcome for this, what you're looking to do is nothing more, just fill out this document called My Target Avatar. That's what you're looking to do. So when you're asking these people question, what are you trying to do is get as much information as you can so that you can actually fill this document called My Target Avatar. This document, you want to fill it. So what it means is you're writing exactly what their frustrations are, what their fear are, what their wants are, what their aspirations are, what their unmet needs are, what transformation are they looking for, exactly demographics, what they look like, where they're from, what they do, their identity, exactly writing down. So Facebook Live, who they liked in a Facebook, what characteristics they have, all that sort of stuff. So this is an example. I filled it at the bottom saying, like, let's see what their frustration are. They're not consulting full time. This is just an example. I filled it in. So if I look at my client, my target sort of avatar in a way that, my full, I think the target at the moment is the people who are not consulting full time. They want to do it, but they're not consulting full time. They don't understand business at all. They think it's hard and they want to do more client and marketing. They don't have enough time to grow their business, right? The fear is they want to make sales without being salesy. That's what I believe their fear is, right? After doing my market research. What they want are to help people, right? These guys. So now some of you guys in the team, if you look at it, who already have the clients, you started working on it, you'll see you fit in this criteria, right? You want to help people, you want to have those people want to have their best life, right? You want to share your gifts, you want to do it. And I've spoken to you guys, that you are exactly, that's what you're looking for, right? You want to help other people. And your aspiration is to become a full-time something, full-time mentor, full-time coach, full-time expert into that space. That's what you're looking to do. One of the biggest unmet needs are the system to get new clients easily before, right? The model, what makes the business run, sales and marketing kind of stuff, all that. So this is just to fill it in, right? Woman working as a profession, 50 plus salary, trained something, coaching, has done some professional development, educated, university degree, achiever, values, all that being filled in based on what I believe in, right? So identity is heart-centered, achiever, smart, curious, fit and healthy, a leader. So that's pretty much fits in most of you guys in that space, right? What do you like? These are people you like, right? Facebook likes. So you need to do that for your client as well. You need to exactly find who they are, where they're at, what they're trying to do. Once you fill this in, then you know, hang on, when you're trying to create a product, then it's easy to create a product, right? So what do you look at it? You look at this transformation. So what their unmet needs are, right? Transformation from here to there, from this space to that space. That's where they want to get to. Now you know that all your programs are going to be based on this, right? So what transformation they're looking for. All of your programs will be designed for that rather than you doing some random stuff, right? So design programs based on people, what they're looking to do rather than from your own assumption. So this is pretty cool. When I did it for the first time, I was like, holy crap, why didn't I do that all the time? Yeah. Yeah, so Simon, do you want to speak here? Hang on. Just unmute yourself and have a chat. Let's unmute yourself.
Yeah, so I was filling out some of those forms yesterday, and just some of the questions were like those kind of questions, like real personal. What's your three favorite books, etc.
Yeah.
Obviously, like we're guessing that stuff. I mean, some people might have that on their profile, but you're asking these people that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You need to look at it. The end goal for us is, all of us collectively, is we want to fill this My Target Avatar document, right?
Yeah.
To fill this document, I think as much direct or indirect information you can get from them, that's what we're looking for. Whether you do it by 3 questions or 5 questions or 10 questions.
Yeah, sure. No, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the end result is you want to fill this document, which is My Target Avatar. That's what you're looking to do.
Oh, right. Yeah. So that's what I was getting at. Like, we're not expected to be able to have all the answers to that now.
No, not at all. No, you don't need all the answers.
Don't worry, I'll have them. But yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Nah, all good.
Okay. Good. So that's what you guys are looking to do, right? So fill in My Target Avatar document, because based on this, we're going to create our program. So one of the biggest question I always get asked is, Jack, it's really hard for me to do my pricing. Jack, it's really hard to do my programs. Jack, it's really hard for me to do Facebook marketing. I don't understand that. But I think it's really simple. Remember what we talked about earlier? By the nature of marketing, your competition cannot hide their marketing strategy. By nature of marketing, your competition cannot hide their marketing strategy from you. So the biggest thing is they already have that available for you. The only thing you need to do is find it, fill it in, and put it there. Right? So let's look at it very quickly, what it look like. So I put a document there. Hang on, let's see if I've got it somewhere. So this is the document which I had it here. There you go. Let me open it up. It's called Competition Analysis. Where is that gone? Hang on, let's see. Okay. If I can share it with you guys. All right, I can't see it anywhere here. All right, let me see this. All right, so let's go back. Let me see this if I can share this. Let me quickly open this up, guys. Document called if you guys have this access to the group, if you want to work through it, open that up, document it with along with me if you want. So it's called the Competition Analysis. So what we're looking to do is, let me share the screen if I can. All right, let's see if that pops up. All right, cool, it's here. All right, so can you guys see this, right? So what we're doing is, in this space, we're trying to find who's out there doing what you're trying to do. Who's out there already doing what you're trying to do. And we just need to fill that in, right? Very easy, very simple. Find 4 or 5 people who are already doing what you're doing, and then see what they have, right? So I usually say do 5 people, 5 competition, check it out and see where they're at, right? So once you know where they're at, it's really easy, because they're going to give you their pricing. They're going to give you their whatever they have in place. They're going to give you what are their bonuses are, what they're offering, what their prices are, what their terms are, what the benefits are, what they're doing. So once they give it to you, it's really easy. Just fill this document in, so you at least start knowing who they are, what they're doing, right? So let's have a look very quickly. So I've got the demo content here, just a demo. So have a look in this space. So what we're looking from the demo perspective is you go out and fill these tabs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I usually say do 5, just so that all of us are on the same page, right? So the first thing is when I say hook, remember what we said earlier? We have 5 or 6 models, right? Done for you, done with you, or do it for you consulting model that will do it for you, right? In this model, what they're talking about, for some of you guys who haven't attended 3-day, don't worry, we'll talk about this later as well, right? So one of the hook for them is how they're trying to hook, how they're trying to get the fish. So what they're saying is, we'll do it for you. That's what they're saying, right? We'll do it for you. What they have is, so this is the website. Click on this website. You can actually check it out, what these guys are doing anyway. So their marketing promises, we give you 3-month sprint of hyper growth if your sales funnel, all that sort of stuff. What they're offering, private coaching and mentoring. The other one is unique selling proposition is tight knit of group and business owner focusing on building and scaling profitable sales funnels. That's their exactly unique selling proposition. So you can do that for your business as well. Find who you target market is exactly, and who's serving that target market at the moment. So if you see that you have a target market and there is no one serving that target market at the moment, and you say, Jag, I don't have any competition globally as well. I don't have anybody who's doing it, right? I would highly recommend don't get into that market, because some people probably have already tried that and that did not work. If you don't have any competition, it's not a good sign, it's a bad sign, because nobody's there. There is a reason, because you can't make money from that place. Some people trying to do stuff and they don't even look at their competition. Look at their competition, attend their workshops, see what they're doing, just so that you can understand it. They're already serving stuff. They know that what works. Look at their Facebook ads, look at their meetups, look at their marketing strategy, look at their funnels. Look at everything what they're doing. Once you look at that, what they're doing, it's easy to actually mold and change it from your perspective, right? So don't get into the market where there is no competition at all, because you're going to be ended up wasting your time and so much money without even, getting anything out of that. I did the same thing. All my previous businesses started before 2014 were all based on what I liked personally, and I just wanted to do it because I didn't even look at who's in the market. Didn't even do anything about the market analysis at all. All of these documents, none were filled. None. If you had asked me who's my target market is, I wouldn't have been able to answer that question at all, because I didn't even know who I was serving. My thinking was, I'm pretty much serving everybody. So you can't serve everybody. If you're thinking that today that you want to serve everybody, then it's just the biggest mistake's going to happen. You're going to try to spray and pray, somebody's going to come. It's really hard to target somebody when you don't actually know who's your target is. So you're trying to target somebody and you don't even know. Marketing's not going to work. Ads not going to work. Phone calling is not going to work. All that until you really describe who you want to target. Once that's done, then it makes it so easy. Then it makes a really good flow. Yesterday, I was at one of the functions, and the guys who ended up raising $30 million for their startup last year, and we were having a chat with those guys. And the girl who was doing marketing for that, and her advice was, she built the biggest tribe for that business, and she had 127,000 people in her group. Now think about that. They started from 60, she said, when she joined, starting of last year in 2017. By end of 2017, they had 127,000 people in their group. So remember what he said earlier so many times, that what we do in today's world in 2018, that we don't buy from clients and customers. You don't do that anymore. That world has disappeared. The only thing we do, we buy from tribes, we buy from communities, we live in a community world, we buy from each other now, right? That's the way it works. If you don't have it, if you haven't thought of that, start thinking about it. Start putting stuff, start adding people, start 5, 6, 7, 8 people, start building your community. Like, say Sandy and Simon and, Payhan, all these guys, you guys are doing stuff today. The first step for you should be in that space, get people to come into somewhere, whether it's a Facebook group, whether it's a Telegram for you, Simon, something you need to do to get people somewhere where you can actually start serving them. If you don't have the place to serve them, it's going to be really hard. So I've seen it again and again. The people who win this game, or what we try to do, the experts game, and I've been really, really, really bad at that from last few years. And even though not doing the way I should be doing is, I've seen it again, and the people who win this game are the ones who have a bigger communities. So work on building your community, whether it's your database, whether it's your Facebook group, whether it's your meetup group, build that. So since I started doing last year, I have meetup like 500 people now, right? My database has grown to 2,000 people now, right? So you need to start working on that. Once you have that, then you can actually start communicating with those people. It makes it so easy. Selling makes it really, really easy. You know that it's really easy to sell to the people who already bought from you, right? It's really easy to sell to the people who already bought from you. Rather than trying to find new clients, serve the people who already have part of your community. Otherwise, what's going to happen? We all going to try to sell outside, and we don't look after the people. So build your community, build your tribe. Once you do that, it makes it really easy. So coming back to this point is what we were talking about earlier. This is your competition, right? Fill this document, see what they're doing. What's their risk reversal is? What is their bonus and premiums are? What their benefit statements are, right? What they're doing so that you can actually see and replicate. Remember what Tony said? Right? You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Find out who has done it, go and model it, exactly what they've done. You know it works. So rather than you trying to do everything by yourself. So fill this document and you'll see that document working really well. So let's go back to the presentation again. So starting from, let's see where we at. Just give me a second. All right, so going back to the presentation again. So first step is finding my ideal client. Fill that document in. Find your ideal client. Who you want to serve? Who do you want to work with? Who they look like? I mean, how they look like. Exactly, fill that document in. Whether at the moment you just fill it in for the sake of filling it in, but just fill it in. Then what happens is you go and speak to people like that. Who's your target market look like? You interview them, ask them certain questions. The end result is you want to fill the target avatar. You want to fill their pains and desire in the document. Once you've done that, then get into the next level. Now you start thinking about what skills do I need to have to solve their problems. Now you start thinking about your skills. You're saying, what skills do I need? Like, I'm really proud of some of you guys are really, really into this now and really, really good at some of you guys are really cool, right? I can't believe that now you started to think like that as well. Like Simon, perfect example. Simon has no idea from this perspective, right, what he's doing today. You wouldn't have done that, Simon, right? So it's really amazes me, makes me feel really happy. The quest you're embarking now is not based on what your skill set is. Your skill sets comes next. Now you've figured it out. There is a problem out there, and now you're just creating the solution based on the problem. And now you're finding the skill set to fix that problem, which is pretty cool, right? And some of you guys are doing it as well. So work on that. Now you find out what skill set you need to fix that problem. Once you know that, yes and no, you acquire the skill, learn stuff, or hire somebody else, then it's really easy to fix it once you know that. The next step is then you create your MVP, then you create your offer, then you create your product. Then you create, when I say product, it doesn't mean that physical product you're creating, it means that you offer. What are you offering to people? Like someone, Sandy, for example, are you creating offer for the students to get a job, right? So that's your offer. That's your program. 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks. That's your program. So that's your offer for people to give them their desired results.
Mm.
Yeah. So what happens in that space? Once you do that, now everything matches with this. So going back to the previous slide. So what happens is now you have your perfect niche. Now you have your offer. Combine them together. Take the pains and desire to the people, right? Now you're solving their pains and desire today. So that's what we want to fill. That's where we want to be. We want to find your perfect niche. We want to find your perfect target market. We want to create an offer based on that, the document you filled in. Once you filled in that, you create an offer, then take their pains away and take them to their desired outcome, whatever the desired outcome might be. Whether desired outcome be just getting a job, or whether, I don't know, just having a peaceful, fulfilled life after going through so much trouble, so much pain, so much trauma, bad relationships, or anything, right? They just want to feel or that they're having a fulfilled life. That's what they want to do, right? So you give them what they're looking. So your product need to be designed in a way to take them there, right? So until you do all that, everything else you're doing today in your business is a waste of time. Right? Let me say that again. If you're doing anything else other than this, or you haven't done this, then everything else is a waste of time. The reason for that is going to be because you're getting into the operations mode. Remember, our default is operations. We're going to get back into the operations all the time. It's like a weed. You don't need to do anything to grow a weed in your backyard. It grows itself. It just comes itself. If you want to grow grass or veggies or do something, you need to plant the seed. You need to do something about it. It's like exactly this way. So your mind is going to take you back. Oh, I need a website. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to do this in the business. Or I need to have perfect email templates. Or I need to send an email. I need to call. I need to do all that sort of stuff. Do all that, but do this first. You need to have this first done. Once you've done this, then we're talking, because then you're going to have a business. Before that, it's just a talk. It's just an assumption. So I don't want you guys to waste so much time the way I've done it for like 15 years and wasted so many years just doing a crap work. And at the end, realizing, what did I do? Why my businesses didn't work? Just because of one reason. All my businesses were started based on me. Nothing to do with the market. I didn't do any market research. I didn't do anything at all. So do that. Don't waste your time. And that's going to save you lots and lots of time. Some of you guys, were thinking, should I just start my IT company or start some sort of company, whatever you have. By doing this, what you're doing is you're assuming that people out there have a problem which you're providing a solution to. So my answer to that would be, don't assume anything in this space. Please don't assume, because the less you assume, the better it is for your business and for you everything. Because if you want to run it as a business, then you need to start thinking like a business as well, right? Not just a comfortable life that you're working for somebody else and then you just want to keep doing what you're doing. So come out as a businessman and do things as a process. Remember, rules are meant to be followed, right? Rules are meant to be followed. So these are the rules of the business, right? These are the rules of the business. So you follow these rules and then you can get somewhere, right? These are the rules. So do certain things in a business, so to find certain things, right? All right, so let's open it up. I really want to get into some of the question and answers. Some of you guys asked me different questions. So let's go one by one. Any takeaways from today, anything you want to share, I'll open up for next 15 minutes. So let's talk about certain things where you have pains and problems. Some of you guys are far ahead in the business. Some of you guys are really doing really, really good stuff. I'm super excited to see what's going to happen in that space. Some of you guys have started. Take your time. That's fine. Don't look at other people and saying they are way too far. We're not here to compare. We're just here to work together and learn from each other collectively, right? So let's open up. So who want to go first? Simon, You're the first one in my screen.
Hey guys, how you going? I'd just like to definitely reiterate Jag's point about going to market and not basing on assumptions. I definitely did that. I wasted definitely some hours there. I got some good stuff out of it, but yeah, definitely don't base your idea on that. I've now reworked it, and yeah, I think we're going to have a lot more success, definitely. And just a quick point, I found out one of my targets' pains just because I like the burgers. I go there a lot. I've taken on a lot of business there already. Speaking to the owner one day about how he was going, and he sort of just mentioned that his business was just ticking over. So to me, helping him promote his thing would definitely be one of his pains for sure. So what else could I mention? That's sort of where I'm at. I'm just sort of getting my stuff together to take it to them and offer the beta program.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's going to be exciting. Setting up a few events.
Yep.
So yeah.
Awesome. Good, man. You are the one, the action taker. I love it. Absolutely love it.
That's it. Massive action. So
Massive action. Awesome. That's good. Thank you. Let's move on. Anything? Sorry, before I move on, anything else?
Nothing else. No, all good.
All right, cool. That's good.
I've got sort of someone who's doing logos and stuff. If anyone's interested, they're fairly cheap, so let us know.
All right, awesome.
I'm not plugging them. I don't get anything from it, but yeah.
No, good, man. That's good advice. That's share those people who we have in the team.
I definitely paid more for the same service in the past, and I'm fairly happy with her. So yeah, let us know.
That's good. Thanks, Simon. Let's move on. Anybody else who's there? Vic, you're the next one in my screen. On my screen. Vic, can you speak? Are you?
Hi, Jack.
Hey.
Not much update from my end, Jack. I am still struggling to like where to start, basically. Yep. To be frank. Yep.
All right. Good. That's good.
Yeah.
Believe me, that's where the fun is. So if you're struggling, if you're frustrated, you're pretty close. Remember, you're very, very close. You're gonna have a breakthrough. Believe me, you're gonna have a breakthrough. So my advice would be, let's jump on a call. So today's session was completely designed basis on from your perspective, the people who are starting. I know some of you guys are starting. So today I started based on that. So what are the steps you need to take, right? So going back to the same thing, you need to start into this space, right? You need to start looking who you want to serve, who you want to work with, who you love to work with, right? So this is your stuff. So find who you want to work with. You want to work with people at certain types, certain things, IT guys, technology guys, because you love it. So you fill that document in, start doing that work now.
Yep.
Right. So when you've done that, like say, for example, in your space, right, when you fill the document, so I would like you to, when you start filling this document, so let's have a call once you've done the first one, which is my ideal client. Once you've done the first one, fill it in, and then jump on a call. Let's have a discussion on this, right? See what way, right? Because this is exactly, I want you to start doing step by step. My ideal client, then you're going to go out and interview certain people. Once that's done, then we're going to find exactly who's your target avatar is, what it looks like, and where they're heading, where they want to get to. Yeah?
Yep.
So we do that. So do the first one, fill that document in, who's my ideal client, you know? Find out who you would love to work with.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
Cool, Jack.
That's good. Thank you. Let's move on. Maria, anything from your side? Maria, can you speak? Oh, you can't talk at the moment.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can now.
You can? Thanks. Just no, really good advice. So that's excellent advice. And that clarity as you are recording it as you go with those forms, it really does help you gain clarity after reflecting upon it, on who you really need to be serving.
Yeah, true. I think what happens is most of the time, everything stays in our head. So what we want to do is we want to bring everything from our head onto the paper. My mentor always said, and believe me, he's really true. I mean, it's really right, that he always thought that think on a paper, because when you think on a paper, then you can actually see what you're thinking. Think on paper. So once you start thinking, it's good. So I'd like everybody to start filling these documents. And same as you, Maria, you need to start filling these documents, right? Fill these.
Definitely.
Are
They
on
the
Sorry. Yeah, go on.
Sorry. Are they on the in the shared group, or are they in the?
Yeah, they are on a Facebook. Yes, on the Facebook group.
I'll find them.
Yeah, so they are there,
Thank
and
you.
then start filling these docos and start seeing. I think they'll give us really good information in that space, that who you want to serve, what do you want to work, who you want to work with, and stuff. Right?
Definitely.
Cool. That's good.
Thanks,
Right.
Jag.
Thank you, Sandy. You're next.
Hey, sorry, I had my laptop on mute. So as I told you guys, I already had this one paying client, but that's a like fresh graduate, and I'm trying to, do the content and trying to get what they want. But I've started to, it's getting a bit difficult because I didn't do these documents, like completed them before and identified the things proper. There are a few types of people that I don't like to work with.
Yes.
As in the ones who, first of all, don't have, it's not about English or language, it's about the basic communication issues. And I'm not coaching somebody for basic communication things, like not, like addressing somebody like hi dear and all those stuff. Like this is not professional. And this is really irritating, especially this word, since that has become a bit difficult.
Yes.
Now, I had called this out to this person, and I've asked that, this is what, it's not about what you're paying for and what you're not paying for, but this is something that you need to work on.
Yeah.
So now when I was looking at your presentation just as of yet, and you said, describe what people you don't want to work with, is when I realized that at least, have the basic, how to send an email, like sending an email and replying with like 3 question marks.
Yeah.
What do I mean? Like, what does that even mean? And that's a bit not very right. I'm not saying that that's somebody, they need help, but I can't help with that.
Absolutely right. So you decide who you want to work with, because that's your business.
That's right. Yeah. So somebody, and I also realized that fresh graduates also have this very biased approach towards local experience. They don't value any sorts of part-time work that they do.
Yeah.
They think that it's just because they have to make money, but they don't realize that it's an essential part of showing the local work experience in the Australian market. And somebody who doesn't value their work, whatever you do, it doesn't matter. It's very difficult for them to understand that, the value of whatever they are getting out of the coaching. So
I'll give you one insight. I'll give you one insight, right?
Yeah.
So last year, I've actually started to coach and mentor people who were doing the businesses, right? So especially looking at high corporate world, right? Especially the CEOs and CIOs, exec type of people, right? So all these people I started to coach and mentor. So I had 5 or 6 clients, and I was supposed to be coaching and mentoring them for a business side. So I was a business guy trying to teach them how to do the business stuff, right? So 80% of the time has nothing to do with the business.
Mm-hmm.
All our calls and everything had nothing to do with the business, was everything to do with other stuff. Like why things were not working, because the other things were lacking somewhere here, right behind something which they couldn't even see. So in your case is exactly the same thing. People think that they need a job and they're not getting a job. Getting a job is a symptom for something.
Yeah.
Right? And
like
that's
they can't communicate.
Yeah. It's a bigger thing.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Look, it's part of the job, right? So I think what's going to happen is you're going to learn along the way as well, right? So
yeah, those, I mean, not respecting other people's work or your own work, or the people, you move to a country and that whole blaming thing all the time, that's a bit difficult to work with. I mean, you should appreciate at least something that you have in your hand, right?
Yeah, true. Now that's good. I think if some of you guys don't know, I think Sandy, I want to call it out to people. Sandy has gone through a lot of, I think, internal I think what's the right word to call it?
Fight. It's a
mayhem, right? Mayhem.
mayhem. Yeah.
Internal mayhem in last 1 week. So Sandy had to go through and come up with something, because what happens is the reason we don't take action today, because we have something internal which is stopping us. Remember the last day what we did, 3-day workshop, the self-sabotage patterns. You need to recognize your own self-sabotage pattern, because if you're trying to get success and you're not getting it, there is a reason behind it. And we call it self-sabotage patterns. And we need to find it. We need to deal with it and handle it, right? So all of us have it, all of us, but we just need to find it. So Sandy has to go through all that last 1 week, and I think she came out pretty well after that. So, which is good. Well done, Sandy.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
Nah, that's it. I will first and foremost do this documents.
Yeah.
Because as you said, I only gained this clarity that yes, I'm gonna just do it and learn about it. So I just better learn it thoroughly.
Yeah, do it. I think
I'm doing it anyway. So
yeah, all of you guys do this document. I think the step one needs to be for you, everybody, to start filling this document step by step. So this is a step one. You need to start filling it, who you want to work with, who you don't want to work with. That's a step one. Start from there. Cool. All right.
Okay.
Let's move on. Murray, the next one. Murray, can you speak, or you okay to have a chat? Where you at? What are you doing? Are you there? Yes, no? Cool. All right. I think she's not there. Let's speak. Amit. Amit, you're the next one. Say hi, Amit. And I think this is your first one. So just introduce yourself and see who you are, what do you do? And
okay, so, yep.
What made you decide to get into this space? That's one thing I want to
know. I think I just wanted to make money. That's my idea.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to have a life of freedom wherein I can help my children when they need me, my parents when they need me, and I can do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And that is something which I think everyone wants to achieve, and I also want to do that same. I have right now no idea that what I want to do, and I have really struggling in terms of last 1 year. I just gone to many meetups and many sessions like one of yours, and I was not finding where should I get joined. And then when I talked to you, I was like, I am a consultant and I wanted to be a consultant. So let me explore my opportunities here, which I am really glad that I did that. And I think after a chat with you, when the decision has to be made, as net cannot be postponed, and that's the idea. So that's why I joined today.
Awesome. Welcome.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. I think, believe me, it's all psychological stuff, right? Now you started, you'll see things going to start to happen. This is for all of us, right? So think of that as when anybody pays you, remember, say you guys are into that space now, you're going to get that people are going to start paying you for your coaching and your mentoring and your expertise, your consulting. People are going to start paying you very soon, right? And some of you guys at the level, people are already paying you, right? So when people are paying you, what it means is they have that placebo effect in that space. They already know that they want to be successful. So it's in your favor. It's all of us in that space. It's in our favor that people, because they already want to be successful, they're already in that space, then your life is really easy, right? That's why you probably have seen it in the workshops, in anywhere. I don't go out and do objection handling at all. I never did it. I don't do it. The reason for that is the moment I started to do objection handling, what happens is people don't want to do it. And I'm just doing that, trying to find a way to sell them, right? That doesn't work well, because what's going to happen in a couple of days or 3 days or after 1 month, there won't be any results. Because there won't be any results, then I don't feel that it's a good thing, because they don't believe they can be successful in that space. So I need believers. And same thing with you guys in your space, you need believers. If people don't believe they can get a job, if people don't believe they can be successful, doesn't matter what you sell them, what do you work, what do you do, whoever come out and give them the advice, they're not going to be successful, right? Because they don't believe it. So it's for all of us in that space, right? If you believe in that, then it's going to make it happen, right? Because you need to believe. That's the first step. You need to have that winning mindset that I want to be successful. So cool. Welcome, Ed. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
And also, we haven't told you yet, so I'm going to give you the surprise right now. The surprise is that we also working on step-by-step another course along the way. Pretty much my laptop stopped, so I couldn't upload the videos. It's called Map My Business Workshops, right? Which is online, which we're going to give you the access to, and then it's going to step-by-step process you're going to get as part of this entire thing. So we haven't told you, but you get it as part of that, right? So this is something you're going to get it anyway. That's going to give you for 12 weeks, step-by-step access, what you should be doing every day, or what do you need to do for that week, so that you have that, you know, exactly what you need to do to get to the next level. That's one thing. So 3 days, we're going to be catching up. This is for all of you guys, 26, 27, 28 of October. If you guys want to come back and sit, please do either me or Maria know, so that we make sure that we have a seat for you. I'm going to change some of the things. Please come out and check it out again. I would highly recommend it. Sit in again to have the knowledge, because things are going to be changed very differently. Right? We're going to add some of the other stuff. I'm going to add branding in that space. So I'm going to add my formula in that space, which I just sort of working on at the moment, that you need to do that. Branding in that space, we're going to talk about Facebook marketing, and also more on getting organic clients. How are you going to be able to get the organic clients, right? Because some of you guys are going to struggle from that perspective. Some of you guys are already struggling today. So you need to understand how you're going to go out and speak to people, how you're going to get the clients. So I want to give you all the step-by-step in that space where you write it down, and at the end of the 3 days, you're going to have your offer ready and client ready and get it done, right? So that's where we're going to be. So 26, 27, 28 of October, book it in your diary. Let us know if you're going to be coming so we can have a seat for you, right? All right, let's move on to who else we have. We have Ganesh here. Ganesh, anything from your side, brother?
Not much, Mike. Similar to, I think, what Vic is in at the moment.
Okay.
So, yeah, but there's a couple of things I'm still working on, still trying to push it through.
Yeah.
But we're not in a position to update at the moment.
All right, that's okay. So, Ganesh, my recommendation would be just start filling out these docos, right? So, my ideal clients, start to fill it in, whether you're doing in your, so I know you're sort of working and trying to find the work in that space, but along the way, for your project management business, for the side, what you were doing, I would say start filling these docos for that.
Will do.
Right. So, and once you have that ready, once you have that, let's have a chat in that space and see what we need to do. Because I truly believe, based on your skill set, based on the experience you have, you should be really cool and big business very soon.
Yep.
Right. All right.
Will do, Mike. Will do, bro.
Thanks. All right. Murray, you still there? No? 1, 2, 3. You know there? All right, cool. That's good. All right. Any other question, guys, before we go? No? All right. So I'm going to go, and you know where we are. If you need to speak to any of one of us, please book a call. Let's have a chat. Don't hide away thinking that you don't have anybody for help, right? Please ask for help. Please interact. Speak to people in the group. Share some of the information. Share your learnings. Let's get it going. And we are part of the group. We all are expert in our own domain. Let's work together as a community to get to the next level, right? Cool. Thank you, guys. And speak to you guys.
Thanks, Jack. See you guys.
See you guys.
See ya.
See you. Bye.